And this is something where I think the biggest lesson is here for us, after not being overconfident in your own ability, is, guys, welcome back to our first ever after action report. We've probably done videos like this in the past, but this is the first time we're using the super cool acronym. Now, I got that acronym after reading the David Goggins You Can't Hurt Me book, or Can't Hurt Me. And on the airplane, actually on the way back from this past weekend's match, I was going over this section where he speaks about after action reports, which is something they would have to submit during training or whatever. And very importantly, like he spoke about, the mindset that you're in during, before, and after a challenging event. And I thought that that could make quite a nice video for us, because I did make a few mistakes leading up to this match that we shot this past weekend. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, which I would highly appreciate it if you guys did that, at Impact Shooting without the G, that would be really, really cool. We're going to be doing some more giveaways there soon, so make sure you're there for that. You would have seen on Instagram that I got third, okay? And while most people would be ecstatic with getting third in a match with 48 shooters, I wasn't. And the reason for that is I 100% dropped the ball big time. So first of all, let's start sort of with my mindset leading up to the match. So flashback, to April, I won a 2-day precision rifle match after breaking my arm and not shooting for 8 weeks. And with, undergoing surgery and not shooting, I was still able to win a 2-day match relatively comfortably with no real training, okay? Now, I entered this 1-day match, which is something I said I wasn't going to do, and I flew up to Johannesburg for the weekend to go shoot this 1-day match. And the only reason I did that was to go make a point. And the point I was trying to make is, after I won the Cape Town match with quite a handicap, let's put it that way, it was thrown in my face that, you had an advantage because you assisted the match director in building his first match. Now, the reality of the situation is, if I didn't do that, there wouldn't have been a match. So I kind of wanted to go up to make a point to say, listen, okay, I can still hang with the top guys at any other match with no apparent advantage. So that was a mistake going into that too. That should not have been my motivation to go. And that's one that I'm going to own up for. The other mistake I made was I was a little bit overconfident, I thought, hey, I just beat the best guys in the country with no training, with a broken arm basically. I could kind of go up and wing it at this match, at a 1-day match, and still win with no training. Because I've been super busy. There are quite a few things happening in our life at the moment, which we won't get into in this specific video. But I haven't really had the chance to go shoot. So I didn't do my usual pre-match training that I would do in the week leading up to it. I've got very specific drills that I like to do. I've got very specific, I'm not superstitious or anything like that, but I've got a specific list of things that I like to do leading up to a match. So I didn't do that. The other mistake I made was I was going to try a new product that's going to be available soon. And at the very last second, I realized the product's not quite ready to make its first sort of appearance outside of its current environment, let's put it that way. And we decided to park that idea. And I ended up switching back to my old load. I needed to last minute reload. And it was just a little bit too much of all over the show. And then my last biggest mistake I made was I thought that, because I'd become aware that some of the other top guys hadn't entered the match, and I was kind of going like, okay, well, it's almost like a given that I'm going to win this match, because, I don't expect the match to be super hard, and I can kind of just wing it. And that was another one of my biggest mistakes. The next sort of section we're going to get into is my mindset during the match. And while I was very focused while shooting the match, while I always try and be focused, I don't take it very seriously, and you guys know that. Because at the end of the day, this is still something that I do for fun, right? Nobody's making money by shooting matches, at least in this country. There's no prizes or anything like that, so there's no real motivation from that sense. But, we were having such a good time with our squad number 4, shout out to everybody watching. It was so cool. And then I was 1 point down after 4 stages, and then I ended up getting a 0 out of 8 on another stage, which ended up costing me the win, definitely. Even if I'd gotten like a 4 out of 8 there, I think we still would have been fine with regards to winning. And then I lost on time And I actually, because I tied for second, and then it goes score and then time on a specific stage. And I actually ended up having a little bit of a feeding issue, and I lost out on second by less than a second, which is quite an ass burner. But not that it would have made any real difference in the overall season score, because as a percentage of the winning score, you know, it would have still been the same. So I think I did really well in the sense that after I had that bad stage, and this is something where I think the biggest lesson is here for us, after not being overconfident in your own ability, is after I had the bad stage, I still kept it together and I shot really well after that. Because it's very easy, you know, for us to have sort of a bad stage and go, oh well, you know, I'm not going to win this match anymore. And, you know, mail it in and sort of retire from the match, mentally at least, and like just nonchalantly shoot the last couple of stages. And it was very important for me not to do that. I still feel like as a sportsman, it's our duty to shoot as good as we can. And even though I really messed up on that one specific stage, focusing on the remaining 3 stages was priority number 1. And I didn't let it upset me. You know, I was disappointed at the time, but I was kind of like, oh well, it is what it is now. We got to take what we can control again, which is the last 3 stages, and make every single point count. Because if I'd missed one more shot there, I would have been like off the podium completely. So yeah, all in, I think for me, I need to refocus, get back to, you know, to training. Because for the most part, all the points that I ended up getting on the match, I had to work really, really hard for. It was, what you guys have to understand is that sometimes, I know there's a lot of people watching this channel that don't own rifles, that are waiting for their rifles in consideration. And even when we're shooting off obstacles and things, we do have a little bit of reticle wobble, and shooting is very much like golf in the sense, at least for me, that some days you have good days. I don't play golf anymore as a result of this. Some days you have good days and some days you have bad days, you know. And this specific match was a really bad day for me. I could not hold my rifle steady, and I had to, like, it was more of a timing thing, like timing the shot while I was sort of wobbling all over the target, than a fundamentals thing and cracking off good shots. Now obviously when it comes down to timing, you still need to have good fundamentals, otherwise it's going to be a complete disaster. But I did feel like I had to work really hard to get the points that I did get. And I think that's a combination of, you know, not shooting a lot lately. Something that I also recognized is that I wasn't shouldering the rifle properly, and it looked like, on the video at least, that my rifle recoiled more than it should. So yeah, there's definitely some work to do on my side. And hey, if this was just smooth sailing, then we probably would lose interest. So this was quite cool to have sort of a bit of a humbler, if you will, and get us refocused on the task at hand. And yeah, there's plenty of more matches coming up in the year, which I'm excited for. And yeah, we're gonna put in some work in the next couple of months. So I'm really excited about that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed sort of learning from my mistakes. At the end of the day, this is why this channel exists. You know, I started this channel so that we can learn from each other. And I learn from you guys a lot in your comments, you know. So let me know what you think. If you've made similar mistakes to what I've made. If you experience similar things like the reticle wobble. Some days it's great, some days it's literally all over the place. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. I do my best to read most of the comments. Once again, thanks to MDT for being such an awesome channel partner to help us out with making these videos. You'll see my match steed behind me, my dasher in the ACC. Come to think of it, if memory serves, 1, 2, and 3 were ACCs at this past weekend's match. So that tells you a hell of a lot if you're looking for a precision rifle chassis. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Learn from my mistakes. Life's short. Learn from other people's mistakes. And hopefully we don't make these again. I'll see you in the next video. God bless you guys. Cheers. Bye.